So hiya guys, Merry Christmas to you all. There was something I want to talk about, and I've not seen any news coverage of this, and I'm quite frankly shocked that there isn't. So there's a play in London at the moment called Expendable, and it's about the grooming gang, the grooming gang, where hundreds of thousands of white British girls were raped, tortured, and some were even murdered by Pakistani Muslim gangs. Now, you'd think that a play like this is a bit tasteless, considering the subject. But you would think, all right, expendable. It would mean it's drawn subject to the fact that these girls were expendable by these communities who abused them. It's nothing about that. It's oh, here we go. Right, I'm just going to try and read this to you. This is absolutely shocking. So it says here, we step into Zara's kitchen and you'll be put to work, a knife slotted in one hand and an onion in the other. There are people to feed and she's got enough to worry about. So it's about two sisters, Yasmin and Zara. Her care, cloaked by fear, is deliberately pushing her siblings further away, but when Yasmin lets herself in, dumps her bags in the counter and puts the kettle on, Zara's avoidance quickly falls apart. And it's a sober discussion of Islamophobia and misogyny. Expendable is told through the lens of a fraught family, desperately trying to hold itself together in the face of crisis. Zara's son, Raheel, has been falsely accused of being part of a grooming gang. His face splashed across the front page of the paper as one of the 4 stole 10. Tempers are on short fuse. Under Esther Richardson's direction, everyone is on edge of snapping right from the start. Nerves remain high throughout, missing out on moments of softness and leaving little space for tension to ramp up. When more bombshells drop from the victim Jade and Zara's earnest activist daughter Sophia. Alright, we'll go on. Most of the action the family responds to is happening off stage. The protests, counter-protests and arrests that hold the men at the centre of the tension. Instead of Natasha Jenkins' naturalistic set, we witness the women's furious, furrowed conversations around the kitchen table as they argue over how to respond and recapture the media's narrative, which is painting all Muslim men as predators and ignoring the girls at the heart of the issue. The girls at the heart of the issue are the girls that were raped, tortured and abused, and some, as I said, murdered. At times the dialogue spells out a subtext made obvious that is necessary, but there is complete subtlety here too, particularly as Yasmin's challenging of who their community rallies around and who it kicks to the curb. So it's basically about. So I read this other synopsis about it. It's basically about this woman's son gets accused of being part of the grooming gangs. Let me read what they've said the synopsis is though. There's the royal court, quite reputable. So you've got the woman in a hijab, okay. People kept saying there's no smoke without fire, but it's not fire, is it, Kala? It's like we're just choking on all the fumes. Between the 1990s and 2010s, well, it's still going on today, so yeah, that's a lot of BS. Alright, hundreds of thousands of young white British girls were sexually exploited, tortured and, some murdered in northern towns by gangs of predatory men. Not just northern towns, Oxford, Telford, Rotherham, there's tons of towns. by predatory men. It was Pakistani men who were doing this. Two sisters grapple with the impact of their community as the men around them are embroiled in a sexual abuse scandal. It's like, I can't even believe this. So what it's about, it's like, it's about white vigilantes then take out frustrations on the Muslim community, and even the police, the white vigilante police, get involved in attacking the Muslims, and they write "rape capital of the world" on a mosque, and yeah, I would think that the expendable people in any of this story were the ones who were abused. You know, the girls who went to the police, the social work, girls at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and they weren't believed, or nothing was done because the police and social services didn't want to be seen as being racist. So for decades, this phenomenon of white British girls being abused by Pakistani Muslim men carried on. But no, here we have it from the point of view that they're the victims in this. Like, what? 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 As someone, and I've spoke about this on my channel, who's been a victim of rape, no, you don't get to be you don't get to call yourselves the victims when the perpetrators are mostly the men from, not mostly, the men from your communities. The victims were the girls. I was the victim in my case. The guy who did it to me he wasn't the victim. You know, he certainly wasn't the victim. But, so yeah, you would read that little head in there and you would think, oh, it's about, the girls and stuff like that, and drawing attention to the fact that our society and government, police, etc., let this slide for so long, and how it was basically rape on an industrial scale going on in Britain. But no. The white people in this are the vigilantes. The girls who are accusing this woman's son of grooming or raping her, yeah, he's the victim, and and the Muslim community are the victims in this. I'm absolutely shocked. Can I say I'm shocked? Maybe not. I'm maybe not shocked. Now, is all Muslims rapists? No, absolutely not. But can we draw attention to the fact that this happened, and it's still happening in the UK right now? It doesn't matter, it doesn't, if it was Christians that had did this, I would say, yeah, rape was going on an industrial scale with Christians, like it happened with the Catholic Church. And we had to draw attention to it when the priests were abusing children. We had to draw attention to it, speak about it to make sure it didn't happen again. But by no means did we make a play to say that the priests were the ones who were the victims in all this. It's like making a play saying that the victims of Jimmy Savile was the victim. What? Oh God, honestly, it's so infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Anyway, I don't know if any of you guys knew about this, but can I say I'm shocked? No. In Britain these days, absolutely not. Could this video possibly get me arrested? Yeah. Yeah, because you can't criticise anything to do with anything like this. If it was a Jew or a Christian or however, oh, absolutely, you'd be able to say all sorts of nonsense, but not when it's other communities. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is angering, and I can't even, like, I wonder, like, how the victims of, like, Rotherham and the Oxford and Telford and, like, all those grooming the thousands of girls that this happened to who weren't believed, some who tried to even go to the police were murdered along with their family, burned alive in their house with their family members. One girl was stabbed to death, and thrown into a river kind of thing, because she ended up pregnant. So I wonder how the girls who this happened to feel about this play. I don't know, like, I mean, could they have made a play, like, from the girls' perspectives? Probably not, because you'd have certain communities coming out saying, shouting the usual crap, Islamophobia, and well, that's what they're doing anyway. This is about Islamophobia. Nobody blames the Muslim community, the Muslim people, for what happened in Rotherham or Telford or Oxford and, like, all the other towns that this happened with. Absolutely not. We blame the people that did it. And I'm sorry, but, like, the people that did it were mainly Pakistani Muslim men with a few Somalian Muslim men mixed in there. And the victims, they were white British girls. White young British girls. And that's the reality of it. And changing the facts surrounding it or trying to make a play to appease another side is just ludicrous to me. Ludicrous. I know for a fact, like, I've got Muslim friends that, like, condemned what happened to these girls. Absolutely condemned it. So I am saying, like, like, this isn't like this isn't like it's not me blaming Muslims for this. It's me saying, like, there was a problem in these certain communities with a certain demographic of men, and that's factual. I can say that because loads of them have been arrested, tried, went to court, imprisoned. The young girls were called white sluts, white whores, infidels, and I'm like that's off their testimonies. I'm absolutely shocked at this. I hope the media picks this up, because this is shocking. Absolutely shocking. Alright, I'm gonna go, guys. Yeah, I don't even know how I stumbled on this. I was looking at plays in London, because during Christmas time, they'll have pantomimes and stuff and that on, so I was looking to nose around and have a look to see what was on, and then I stumbled on this, and thought, oh, they're doing that's a bit, like, controversial, doing a play about the grooming gangs, but alright, if they're drawing, like, attention to this, like, maybe that's a good thing, but no, it's nothing what I thought it would be. Anyway, I'm gonna go before I say something I regret. Alright, I love y'all. Bye.